So 3 city cars and a 3-way tag match between Japan, Germany and the UK. Well, sort of the UK, because in this, the dull corner, is the Vauxhall Corsa, known to its challengers as the Undertaker, mostly because with the performance figures of this particular model, we ain't going to be overtaking anybody. From the land of the rising sun, this the Toyota Yaris, known as the Sumo, because it's big, round, oriental, and it's got an enormous bum. And this, from Germany, the Teutonic challenger that is the VW Polo. We're going to call it the Rock, because the Germans reckon it is the most stable of the bunch. The recently refreshed Polo has over the years had its boxy lines softened, but this, the latest shape, still looks chunky and solid. The Toyota Yaris is the most innovative of the bunch. It uses its interior space very cleverly to create a lot of room, and the result is this distinctive and unique shape. And that leaves this, the Vauxhall Corsa. Vauxhall say it's been heavily revised. The result is a car that looks, well, just a bit more pointy. With just a 5-speed manual gearbox, there's not much to talk about there, other than to say it's the usual, typically clunky Volkswagen affair. 1.4 litre engine gives strong, though not startling, performance, but the real news here is the interior, which just takes my breath away. Not because of any fancy baubles or gimmicks, just because of the sheer quality. The quality of the materials used everywhere, the look of the thing, the sombre, sensible layout, which is such a surprise in a small car. My only quibble with this interior is that it's got the thinnest steering wheel rim I've ever encountered in a car other than one from the 60s. And what I don't understand is in such a sombre car, why those crazy Germans decided to repeat the body colour on the seats with this lurid green. Simply mad. And so onto the Toyota Yaris, which despite being the clever clogs of the three, boasts just a rather ordinary common or garden automatic gearbox. But in many small cars, when I've encountered an auto gearbox, it can make for disaster. Something about a combination of small engine and all the torque converter nonsense that goes with an automatic box can mean just a horror. This is as smooth, comfortable and easy and relaxing as you'd find an automatic gearbox in a big car. And that's not the only way that the Yaris pretends to be a bigger car, because this is when it really shows off its cleverness. Because in here, it feels like it's as big as the other two put together. It's that clever use of space that makes it really quite an innovative little car. It's light, bright and open and feels more like a mini MPV than a city car. Considering it's a car that I've never associated with high tech, it's a surprise to find the Corsa boasting the most sophisticated gearbox of the three, the Easytronic. Basically, it's another of these systems you slide the gear lever across into A for automatic, and it's an automatic. Or you can slide it, knock it across once, and you can move it plus or minus, it'll change up and down the gears. Honest opinion? Total waste of time! The automatic gearbox isn't particularly smooth. You'll get bored of going, ooh, first, ooh, second, ooh, first. You're not really changing gear, it's just a switch on an automatic gearbox. Sorry, Vauxhall, can't see the point. Stick to an automatic or a manual, one or the other. And then there's this interior. Tarte de boudoir, I think is the best way to call it. If you like things flash, you'll love it. If you're a fan of subtlety, or dare I say it, quality, you won't. The plastics are mismatched. There's about 15 shades of grey in here. There's more textures than can possibly be necessary. And I'm sorry, this car is only a few thousand miles old and already it's showing signs of wear and scratches. Put another 30, 40,000 miles on this and it will be a sack of spanners. Some of the plastics used in here though aren't exactly inspirational, but the standard of finish is perfectly decent, and being a Toyota I'm sure it will last a long time. It's just never going to be the prettiest interior. Clever though, we've got things like this long distance rev counter and speedo, which means you don't actually have to refocus. You can just glance your eyes down, read it and back up without refocusing the distance that you're looking at. Sounds like a gimmick, actually works once you've got used to it. Of the three, this could be the one that most lives up to its name in our little tag wrestling match here, The Rock, because it is so solid and sensible. The chunky looks, despite being more rounded and modern, it does look so solid. The interior is kind of sombre, sensible. It looks like it'll last 1,000 years without wearing out. A good, solid, sensible 5-speed manual gearbox, 1.4, sensible engine size. The only problem is, It ain't cheap, but then it is extraordinarily high quality for a small car, and you could use this every day for centuries. It won't break and it won't wear out. They may be small cars, but the differences between them are enormous. Some people will love the solidity, the reliability, the quality and the quiet styling of the Polo. Others will find it just a bit boring. The Yaris's eccentricity is both its strength and its downfall. Some will love it, others will think, well, it's just plain loopy, isn't it? Boy and girl racers alike will prefer the Corsa from Vauxhall. They'll love its edgy styling and it's quite nippy. Others will think that, frankly, it's a little bit tacky. And as for those gearboxes, well, for my money, have either an automatic or a manual, but not something that falls somewhere in between.